going along with that same idea of just using what the average person has accessible to them, I thought, well, every computer has a mouse and a keyboard, right? Like built into it. So why not use something, if I want them to play the scale degrees or chord degrees 1 through 8, why not just use numbers 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. I'm just pressing the number keys on my computer keyboard, right? And then from here I can just build harmony, so. Okay. So I mean, like I can, you know, it's. I can have it manually sustained, so when I press the note and then I take my finger off, it's gone. So now they can get that Green Day song, and the Green Day song is in, I don't know, F sharp major or whatever. And then, okay, so now I'm gonna play the one chord, and I'm gonna play along with the recording. I think that's actually Kesha, if you know that one. You love, it's my drum. That one? Like the song of the summer. And by song of the summer, I mean like it was everywhere. Like you couldn't go into like a Dunkin' Donuts without hearing that beautiful masterpiece. I love it. So anyway, it was that same type of thing. You know, we would do the same things. We would say, all right, go get some chords, some songs you like. We're going to learn how to play them together. And then the kids are playing along with their YouTube stuff. And they're composing new pieces with this easily accessible way to just generate some chords, talk about chord functions. There's something really, really fulfilling about having a conversation with a student that goes like this. You know, Manzo, I really like the way that the 6-4-1-5 gets used in Green Day and the Cranberries, as opposed to the way that Weezer uses it in their later rock style. Like this is like a real conversation. You know, like when My Chemical Romance does a 1-5-6-4, it sounds a lot different than when Cheap Trick does it. It's like, what? How are you talking about this? But I mean, those are real conversations that, as a music teacher, I can facilitate, and it can go anywhere. You know, I like the way the 1-5-6-4 sounds. Okay, why don't you try and use that in your own composition? Wow, what a great idea. And then what starts to happen is they organize their own pieces and say, all right, the intro to my piece is going to be a 1-5-6-4. I love the way that sounds. And then my verse is going to be a 1-4-6-5. I'm making these up arbitrarily. Then my pre-chorus thing is a 6-2-5-4. It's got the minor, it's very sad. And then it leads you up to that wonderful chorus, which is a 1-5-6-4, whatever, something like that. And then what I can do is I can say, all right, it's going to be this key of C major. I start this thing playing back in some style, and playing through this one chord progression here. I can slow down the tempo if I don't want. You feel that? So now I want to move to that other section of my song, so I'm just going to click the next little part. That's before. Eventually they can just kind of wander their way through a form that they've created, you know, to devise their piece the way that they want it to be. And this is, like I said, since it's all MIDI, you could record this stuff right into GarageBand or Finale or Stelius or whatever, and have a whole piece sort of structured out that way. It allows you to have a conversation about those types of things. And then later on, I showed you this one already, right? This is just the smart chord one. Right? And then later on, you can have conversations like this, where you're doing the same thing as before, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, right? Different chord functions. But you can say, all right, we've been talking this whole time about doing chord functions in terms of these numbers on the keyboard. Here are those same 8 chord functions, single notes on the piano, right? So what the software will do is when they play the single note C on the piano, it plays the whole chord for them. So then like the D will play like the D minor chord. Get the idea how this is working? So it's removing layers of the scaffolding. So eventually what you do is after you teach them the notes on the scale, okay, here's root and fifth. Okay, now here's no software. There's just the whole keyboard by itself. And the guitar stuff, there's a guitar option there too. If you want to plug the guitar into it, play the single notes on the guitar, it'll track the pitch, and it'll build up the whole chord from there. So they can essentially treat their instrument like a trigger, that each note is triggering an entire chord to play back. So you can read through a piece of sheet music that has these chord functions on there and play through the whole thing with playing just the root of each chord. And then eventually you remove the software altogether and then you've got the whole deal.